I mean, I, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I would absolutely fuck a baby. I'm just saying that, you know, if there's one lying around and you know, if I've got a boner, I'm gonna. Oh, sorry, didn't realise it was recording already. Ooh, I hope I didn't say anything that would, make me seem like I'm a bad person on the internet. All these cis white males, you appreciate the art that they do, and then you find out they're a fucking pedophile and or rapist or misogynistic in some way or another, or that they, I don't know, shat on a dog. I'll shit on a dog. If it's my dog especially, I'll shit on my dog as much as I want. I pay the bills in this house. I pay for your food. I'll take a fucking big shit on you if I want. Fucking dog. Oh, fuck you, fucking dog. You fucking piece of shit. I'll fucking put my dick in your asshole. So a return to norm on the Ewan Sucks podcast. Same as it ever was. I think that's a song or something. I don't know. Same as it is. That the Talking Heads? Oh, that's not even showing waves. That's well past my age. That's just old fucking shit. Today I'm drawing, and that's the end of that sentence. See, because I. Yep. Same as it ever was. Just as fucking unfunny as it ever the fucking was. You might be able to see that I'm drawing a Care Bear. Something sort of light and whimsical during this time, Yeah, fucking Care Bear. Fuck you, I like Care Bears. Sure, I'll shit on a dog. I'll imply that maybe, possibly, I'd fuck a baby. But I like the Care Bears. Nice wholesome cartoon. Good messages. Friendship and cooperation. Spreading love and joy to help those less fortunate. There was like an ice guy involved in one way or another, I think. I don't know, something like that. Little heart for a nose. Aww. Just bloody fucking adorable, aren't they? What a bunch of shit. Who cares about the fucking Care Bears? Oh, who cares about the Care Bears? Not me, you asshole. Go fuck yourself. Get shit. Is that a good Care Bear pose? I like a ta-da, I'm a fucking Care Bear, you piece of shit. You can stick it up your dick. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Cha! Ah-cha-cha! A-rinky-doo, a-doo, a-rinky-doo, a-rinky-dinky-doo, ah-cha-cha. More age-old references for you all there. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you're liking the show. Oh, that's a lovely show. What a show it is. Ewan gets on, puts on a show. How bloody entertaining he is. Endlessly so. Endlessly pissing entertaining. What an absolute lovable boy he is. Oh, did you think I was going to be self-deprecating and swear there? I bet you did, you assholes. Did you think I was going to call myself a ninny poo or a rape apologist or something for being the arsehole that I am? Why would you think so low of me that I might say such things? How dare you all, you bastards. I hate you all. I hope you all die of incurable blood diseases. Ha 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 ha. And then when they find your bodies, they find you've pissed and shitted all over yourself, and it's very embarrassing for you to be found covered in your own pee and feces. Ha ha. Fuck off. I even have topics of discussion prepared for this episode of the Ewan Sucks podcast. Oh. A friend of mine on Instagram, a very lovely friend by the name of Kiki. I don't think that's her real name. That'd be a bit of a stupid real name. Hi, I'm Kiki. If that is her real name, then sorry. Didn't mean. I wasn't trying to be mean or anything. I was just saying it's kind of a stupid fucking name is all I was saying. She is foreign though, so I guess I wouldn't really put it past her to have a silly foreign name. Ewan's a foreign name, technically. Welsh people are called Ewan, but mine is from Scotland. Down here, down south, the south of England, it's quite an obscure name. Not many people are called Ewan. So people go, oh, that's a very interesting name. But in Scotland, it's like being called Dave or John. Everyone's fucking called Ewan. It's the most boring Scottish name imaginable. So cheers for that, Mum, and furthermore, Dad. Especially Dad, him being the Scottish one of the two. Ugh, call me Ewan, cheers. Boring fucking fuck farts. Ewan McGregor, though, he's an actor, a very handsome man, very good actor. He was Obi-Wan Kenobi in those diabolical Star Wars prequels. Hello there, General Kenobi, is that a thing? That's a meme? Memeity meme. Meme. So my friend Kiki, she brought up a thing on Instagram, which was something I had previously thought, but not thought out loud or mentioned to anyone. But then she mentioned it and caused me to go, do you know what? Me bloody also. Which is these things going around. They go around occasionally. But they're going around quite a lot at the moment, I guess, in light of recent events. Like Instagram artist support posts in your Instagram stories, where you tag some artists that you like, and then they repost it, and they tag out, and then they repost, and it's a cycle, an endless, seemingly endless cycle. Which is all well and good, and I've been tagged in a few of those, and I appreciate that people have thought of me at those sorts of times. But now, here's the issue. It is, in a roundabout way, kind of almost like thoughts and prayers for artists on Instagram. Yeah? Does that make sense? Like, it's like, hey, support artists. And everyone says, yeah, support artists, I support. Here's some artists I support. Hey, here's some artists I support. But all you're doing is saying, here's some artists I support. Because this is very, very generally speaking. Most people, I think it's safe to say, don't click on those names and then find the pages of those artists and then follow them and like their work and, comment and maybe buy things. They just repost the thing and go, hey, yeah, I like some artists too. So like I say, it's great that they think of the artist, that, cool, but that's usually about as far as it goes, which is, it's a shame, it's because it's a shame that that's the case. But now we go further. It is also a sign of sort of just how things are going currently. Yeah, because obviously Instagram has changed in the years I've been on, and is changing. It's like a fluid thing, isn't it? It's like a living creature, but it's a robot. It can't be bargained to or reasoned with, like the Terminator. It's So let's take a trip back in the day. Maybe, I don't know. I was going to make a whole separate video on this, so I might not give too much information away because I might want to put that in the whole separate video that I make. So when I first got Instagram, my friend set it up for me because I didn't really care about it, but she was like, no, fucking have an Instagram, it's important. So she set me one up. She had a lot of followers. She shouted me out and I got quite a lot of followers right away. So I figured, okay, fine, I'll roll with it. Started uploading stuff. One of the ways I got more followers was by finding artists that I liked, not huge big name artists, but just people on Instagram that I liked their work. I'd find drawings they did, like sketches and things, and I'd paint over them and send them that painting. So I'd take the drawing that I liked, trace it, paint over it with like colours and textures and stuff, and I'd send it to them and be like, hey, look, I like your work, I drew this, hope you like it. And I'd post it on my page just to say, hey, look at the thing I did. And more often than not, like 9 times out of 10, the other person would post it on their page as well. And they'd go, hey, shit, this guy I just found out about called Ewan painted over my drawing. Isn't this cool? Go give him a follow. And then I'd get more followers and, you know, make connections, networking, that kind of thing, so on and so forth. And that is how I built like a large part of my following in my early years of being on Instagram. Here you go. There's a guy, I believe he's still on Instagram, but he's not quite as active as he used to be in terms of art. Sepet. I put this little book together of work we did. I was hoping to do more with it, but it never really caught on or got anywhere. But I took loads of his drawings because we became quite good friends. So the front cover is a good example. That's his drawing, and this was all of his drawing, but I painted half of it, so it's like, see, you get it, yeah. I won't go through all of this book, but I put it together because it's a nice little collection of his drawings with me painting over them. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Judge Dredd, Adventure Time, Big Muscly Finn and Jake, Gun Viking. That's a pretty cool one. Fuck, I forgot about that one. It's very current. Wolverine. So yeah, I take his drawing, trace over it, paint it. So I did this a lot. Obviously, you can see I did it a lot with his. These are all his drawings, my paintings. That's quite cool. Batman, Superman one. That's really cool, actually. Quite like that. So I did that a lot. Got followers because people would post stuff on their page and then actively say, this guy's cool, go follow him. What happens now, though, and this is something I'm guilty of as much as everyone else, but now Instagram stories are such a big deal, that's where they go. If you draw a portrait of someone or, if I paint over someone's drawing or we collab or whatever, most of the time they just put it in their stories. And they say, hey, look what this person did, isn't this cool? And then less people see it, and then in 24 hours it's gone. And also from the story, no one really interacts with it because they're clicking through the stories. They go tap, tap, tap. Okay, that's cool. Tap to the next one. They move on. They don't really give it a second thought, which is a problem, with art on Instagram. But that's just sort of the way it's going. And like I say, I'm as guilty of it as well, because I'll only post stuff on my page. And this is what I've always done since the beginning. If it's a direct collaboration between me and the person. So if it's something we've worked on together, I post it and I say, hey, I worked on this with this person, go check them out. If I customize a toy, I work on a painting with someone, a wall, whatever. And that's how I've always done it. So I'm not saying, oh, I only post my own things on my page now. That's just how I've always done it. And it's always worked for me. But it tends to be nowadays, most people will only post stuff on their stories. And I understand, I'm not saying they shouldn't, it's completely up to them, but it's just, all I'm saying is, that is currently the system, that's how it goes now. But of course what that means is, like I say, after 24 hours, that story post is gone, no one sees it, and the artwork's forgotten about. Whereas, when it was posted on the page, it's there indefinitely, people can find it, they can happen upon it days, months, even years later, depending on, if they can find it that far back or whatever. So there was always a chance of someone stumbling across it, seeing it, liking the artist, finding the artist, following them, cool, whatever. But now it's in the story, people don't really pay it much attention, and then it's gone very soon afterwards. And so that's that. Which is, I mean, I don't really have much more to say on it than that. It just is what it is. I don't expect it to change. I'm not going to say, hey, everyone, fucking, if I spend a couple of hours drawing a picture of you, post it on your fucking page, because, it would be nice. But they don't. They just post it in the stories because that's just how it goes. Again, not complaining, just saying that's how it is currently. It's kind of shit, but I guess it's not that bad. How are we doing for time? Oh, fine for time. Yeah, so that is what that is, really. Could be better. So, like I say, it's nice that people think of artists and go, hey, I like these artists, mention them in my story. But that's literally as far as it goes. It doesn't really help, And almost the problem with that is that people might think it helps, and therefore they might do it even more than they would have normally. So people see it happening and going, oh, I guess this helps artists, I'll do this. When in reality, it's like, nah, you need to actively tell people, follow this person. If it's a post on your page, it's a lot more helpful. And then, liking stuff, commenting on stuff, signing up to people's Patreons, buying things, actual support of the artists is the best way to support the artists, as opposed to just saying that you support them. Because again, it's very sort of thoughts and prayers-ish, isn't it? And everyone rallies against that, like, oh, there was another fucking school shooting in America. Go you guys. Our thoughts and prayers go to the families and those people who were affected by the atrocities perpetrated by the... And then everyone goes, oh, thoughts and prayers, great, good one. And then some of those same people might then post on Instagram saying, here are some artists I support. But it doesn't really do anything. It's thoughts and prayers, isn't it? And that's literally, there's not much more I can say than that, because that's just how it fucking is. It's not going to change necessarily. It just is what it is, isn't it? You've got to fucking deal with it. Did you like that book, though? The little book I put together? Me and her fan. There's also loads of those in my paint book. If you've not seen that. So, shall I find a copy of my paint book? I think I've got one here. So if you've not seen it, this is my book of paintings I put together. There is a list in the back. Yeah, so here's a list. Some of the pages are numbered, and these are the artists whose work I painted over on those pieces. So let's see if we can find a few. I'm sure will happen. There we go. That's one. That was one. And then the next 2 pages, I believe. Yes, those are more. And those are a couple. And those are a couple. Painted over other people's drawings. And then, they liked them. Ooh, that's painted over my favourite artist, Glenn Fabry's drawing. Look at that. A sort of a forced collaboration between me and him. Forced by me, obviously. But, some of my fan paintings. Cool. I really like that one, actually. That's really, really cool. And that one, as it goes, I'm very, very, very happy with that one. Textures and such, very cool. And these were relatively early on in my painting career, as it were. Some more there from the lovely Michaela. Gun Viking. shit. And that was a good time, you know. I still do that occasionally these days, you know, when I have the time, the wherewithal to do it. But again, most of the time, they just post it in their story, say, hey, look what Ewan did. That's neat. And that's the end of it. And it's, you know, again, similarly, if I draw like a girl or something, I understand certain times if they don't want to put it on their page, if like their family follows or whatever. But sometimes, especially if they're like someone with a bigger following, like a model or something, and I've spent, you know, a few hours drawing a picture of them. If they don't, they don't. I'm not, again, not complaining, just saying it could be better. I am obviously complaining a little bit, but yeah, if they just post it in their story, go, hey, look, you and Dreamy, that's cool, and then it's like, yeah, but you've got quite a big following, and it'd be really helpful if you could just fucking tell people to follow me, especially since I had my account deleted and I've now got a fraction of the followers I used to have. You know, just saying, be useful if you wanted to do that shit. I should fucking hurry up with this shit, shouldn't I? See, I'm drawing a Care Bear, obviously, a green one. Not a bright green one. The astute of you, if you've got half a fucking brain cell rattling around in those big, stupid, content-absorbing heads of yours, you might go, hey a minute, Ewan, drawing a Care Bear? It's great. He's probably going to put some kind of twist on it, isn't he? Some kind of Ewan twist. It's very unlike Ewan to just draw a Care Bear. If he's going to draw something all sweet and nice, he's bound to put some sort of, you know, dark, evil, nasty twist on it. Or is it going to be an aborted fetus floating around in his stomach or something? Ugh. I literally thought of that just this moment, and that's absolutely something I do and may still do. I could make it like a Care Bear with like a hollow, like see-through window stomach, and make it somewhat like fuck, what's that game? Death Stranding? Is that the one? Death Stranding? Death Stranding. What, that one? Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen, Hideo Kojima, and I think Del Toro's got something to do. Where they've got like babies in like containers in like little capsules that they carry around, which are relevant to the story, I believe, somehow. I don't know. Like that, but it's all just aborted fetuses floating around in the Care Bear's tummy tum. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Boys and girls, brothers and sisters. That's what we're going to have to start calling everyone now. Each other, rather. For the cult. You can all call me... I want to say Daddy just because it's disgusting and funny. But I guess... You know, I like the idea. This was never the intention. The whole Uncle Ewan thing, I literally put it in my Instagram bio as just like a funny, like, oh, Uncle Ewan T. Because I am an uncle. I've got many nieces and nephews. Too many. My fucking bloody family just pops kids out willy-nilly like it's nothing. I've got loads of fucking stupid, dumb little nieces and nephews fucking floating around. So I am an uncle, so it's like Uncle Ewan. That's a thing. That is an actual thing because I am an actual one of them. But it's sort of stuck, especially when I went to that illustration tournament in London last year. They put my name down as Uncle Ewan because that's what it was in my Instagram bio. Normally, I just go by Ewan. That's what I prefer my name to be. That's what I like to be known as, is just Ewan. That's it. Just Ewan. Fine, Ewan, fine. But they put me as Uncle Ewan, and I was like, I don't hate that. That's cool. I'm fine with that. No worries. And it's kind of just sort of stuck as a thing, which I guess is how these things happen. It's very rare that, like, a forced nickname catches on because it's usually obviously forced. Like, I want you to call me Papa Ewan Squalladoo. And it's like, really? That's kind of lame. Don't do that. But the whole Uncle Ewan thing just sort of happened by accident. So whatever. But moving forward into, you know, the whole Ewan cult thing, which, you know, we'll get there. It'll happen. Don't worry. I like the idea of being referred to as the uncle, because it's a weird thing, isn't it? That like a lot of families have that weird uncle or aunt who's not actually related. They're just a friend of the family, but everyone's like, oh, it's just Uncle Johnny. Well, yeah, he's Uncle Johnny. Yeah, he's just always been around. We just call him Uncle Johnny. So I could be like that, but like Uncle Ewan, where like he's not related in any way whatsoever. But it's just Uncle Ewan. He's just Uncle Ewan. We just know him as Uncle Ewan. And aptly, since, you know, it's usually uncles that are atrocious, you know, predators and whatever, it fits the character that I'm the uncle, the disgusting, predatory, awful, abysmal Uncle fucking Ewan. Even more so when you think about, you know, like in TV shows and films and stuff, where there's that like weird uncle character. It's like a trope, like loads of fucking things have it. It's the weird uncle that no one really talks about. He lives out in the woods somewhere on his own. He doesn't have Facebook. He's not connected. And, you know, he's got like dark dealings. The most recent one I can think of that comes to mind is in Paranorman, if you've seen that, which is a really fucking good film, made by the same people who made Coraline and such. Really fucking good film. But it does have literally the weird bearded uncle character who lives in a cabin in the woods, and he knows all these dark secrets and, you know, not spells as such, but that sort of thing. And he's like to the boy, like, you've got to carry on the secret. The witch will get out if you don't keep it up. Which, you know, again, fits the theme, doesn't it? Yeah. So that's good, in a way. Now, again, like I say, you've probably gathered, Ewan's going to put some kind of twist on this whole fucking Care Bear thing he's doing. What could it bloody be? Should I just go into it now? Do I wait? Again, let me check the time. See, I'm very wary of the time on these, because at 33 minutes and 10 seconds exactly, my phone stops recording and then immediately starts recording another video because it stops at that file size or whatever. But so if I'm talking, there'll be like a slight cut in what I'm saying when it switches from one video file to the next. So when I'm editing it, very often there's a slight jump, so I try to cut it off around half an hour and then start another recording. So that's what I've done. So we should be okay for the next sort of 20, 30 minutes. If I'm still here for that bloody long. Did you see my latest Gun Viking painting? It was really fucking good. If you're on my Patreon, you'd have seen it. If not, you might not. So what I'll do is this. Right, let's get the size. About there. Cool. This. Cool. Right. So, whoops. I'm just going to tear it in half. I don't know, pause that and look at it if you want, but that's a double page spread that I'm quite happy with of my Gun Viking comic. I've literally only got like maybe 2 or 3 pages left to do of that, and a cover painting, a front and back cover. I've got quite a cool idea for the back cover, which would be a nice easy small one, and then a front cover painting, which I'll also use for bonus material, for like a promo card thing. And it should be fucking cool, yes. Which is neat, but that's not what this is about. This is about the fucking Care Bears, you piece of shit. They live in the clouds, so let's put him on some clouds. Ooh, you'll have to bear with me. I think I might caught some sort of virus or something. Oh, can you imagine? Oh. Apparently there's something going around. I guess just like a little bug or something. I'll just fill this in right quick and then we'll get down to the whole twist. You'll find out what kind of twist I'm putting on it. But see, I'm going to put this as like a sped up video of me just drawing a Care Bear. So you'll see it's like a Care Bear, Care Bear, Care Bear. But then, in the video, very quickly, you'll see the twist come up and you'll be like, oh shit, he's doing... Whereas the problem with this video is, you know, you get to watch it in real time. Wow. But you learn the twist too early and it is less interesting, I find. Whereas if it's a sped up, like a video, a couple minutes long, drawing a Care Bear, and then like 30 to 45 seconds or a minute in, the twist comes and you go, oh shit, he's doing that with it. And then, you know, the rest of the video is that, and then it finishes and cool. But this, it's like, oh, okay, there's going to be a twist. What's the twist? Oh, that's the twist. And now the rest of the video is fucking ages long as he finishes drawing the twist or whatever. And it's just like, ugh, fuck's sake. It's the power of editing, I suppose. But this podcast will be up for free. If you're watching it, it's because it's not on my Patreon. It's just a little bonus thing. Throw it up there for the people. Something to do, something for me to do, something for people to watch. And, you know, to be selfish, it is something for me to do because it's, you know, if I sit drawing commissions and working on Gun Viking all day, it gets very sort of like monotonous and like, ugh. And it gets to a point where I can't be fucked to draw because I'm just so done with it. Whereas doing something like this, it's a bit different. I get to talk to a person or people while doing it, even though I'm not really talking to anyone. And it's something different from what I'd normally be drawing. It's, you know, just a little bit of fun. So I might do a few more of these. Just little bonus ones. Just for the fun of it. I may do a live stream. I might see how many people would be into that. Because if it's like 12 people, like cool. That's, you know, still 12 people, still hang out, have some fun. But if it's like 12 people, that's like, really? I'm putting the time and effort in to do a live stream for 12 people. I don't expect it to be hundreds, obviously. Tens, maybe 40 to 50 people would be cool. 60 or more would be brilliant. But I might do a live stream. I also had very, very soon recent plans to have a very, very long-awaited guest on my podcast. Very good friend, arty art friend of mine. But, of course, because of everything going on, that's currently not happening. It will happen as soon as everything is better, which we hope it is. Whatever, we're not going to talk about that. Today we're talking about the Care Bears. It's all about niceness and nice clouds and fluffy love heart noses. And oh, isn't that lovely and nice? Nicety, nice. All right. Obviously, you know, Care Bears have like a thing in their tummy tum. I've left that blank. I'm not actually fluey. I'm just, it's dust and shit gets in my nose. I get very congested very easily. Hence all of the in my video. But what's it going to be? What's the symbol that's it going to be in its Thomas? Ugh. What is it, Ewan? I don't understand. I don't know what you're doing, Ewan. Ugh. Well, obviously, it's the head of a fly. Oh, that's a very strange symbol to have in the stomach of a Care Bear. You're right, dear viewers. It is. That's because this Care Bear is the Care Bear of Pestilence. Oh, that's nice. It was a funny little idea I had, partly with my artist friend who sadly cannot currently be on the podcast. Pestilence, my favourite Care Bear, was the quote that came out of our conversation. And they said, you should draw it. And I said, I might draw it. And then I was going to leave it alone. But then I figured, hey, it might make some nice podcast content or some shit. I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, a fly's head as the symbol, which I figure is pretty good in terms of a marker for pestilence. The head of a fly, that works, doesn't it? Makes sense. They carry disease and plague and pestilence, whatever. I was thinking of going just like full Nurgle, if you're aware of that from the Warhammer universe. Obviously their whole theme is pestilence and decay and such, which I'm very much in favour of, frankly. I believe more people should accept decay because it's very much a part of life. Whereas there's one sort of shitty example I can use is art restoration. Like everyone tries to restore these great works of art so that they don't rot away, but it's like, I'm sure the artist that created them knew they wouldn't last forever. That like shit rots away, decay happens. You know, it seems silly to try to hold on to some of these things where you should just sort of like accept that one day it's gonna be gone. Which is a good thing because what it should do is open the doors for new things to come in. Which is, again, I talk about all the time, about traditions holding humanity back from moving forward, because we always hold on to, oh, this is just the way we do it. And you see that all the time in, like, anti-abortion laws and fucking gun laws, or lack thereof. It's all these traditions of just the way we do things and being, you know, stuck in the spot you're in that stops people from moving forward and creating, you know, bigger and better things for future generations. And, you know, if I can use the example I know most closely in the art world, because that's what I do, I guess. In art restoration, they hold on to these great works of art, you know, the classic, greatest works of art the world has ever known, which, you know, they are, but let them rot, you know, let them die off, because that's just what happens. It's a weird sort of like, not playing God as such, but like almost playing God, like trying to, you know, be better than fucking time almost. Yeah, whereas what you should do is just let it rot. Let everything rot and decay. Keep making new things, have new classic masterpieces, which is just not going to happen because the new classic masterpieces are like fucking a shark in a tank, you're great, or the fucking bean in San Francisco or whatever it is, all that fucking shit and garbage and shitty garbage. It's just nonsense. It's stupid, frankly, in my opinion, for what it's worth, which is nothing. These are buboes. See, pestilence refers to any sort of like crazy out there disease that's running rampant and killing loads of people off and, you know, fucking shit up. But originally, like, the pestilence was the bubonic plague. And that, of course, a big sign of that, of course, was buboes in the underarm and groin areas. So let's stick a bunch of those in. Make it look all like grotesque and gnarly. Which would fit in with the whole Nurgle thing. Lots of buboes and weeping sores, open wounds and such. Yeah. Warts and boils. That kind of thing, yeah. But we're not done with that just yet. If you're on here, Now, I had this idea in mind to do it like this. We'll see if this looks good or if it looks shit. Yeah, it might look shit. Ooh, shitty shits. I might be able to colour over them with some green, but it might just look shit. If it does look shit, I apologise, but you know, can't win them all. Again, that's one of the issues with trying to have like a reveal of the twist or whatever, is having to draw things at certain times in a certain way and go back over it. Or something. I don't fucking know, shut up. Bunch of you fucks. And of course, let's give it a skull face. Yeah. Nice big bloody bear skull face. I think I know what they look like. I've got a rough drawing next to me that I'm sort of working from. Hopefully I can make it work and not look completely shite. Something like that. You big fat fucking prick. I do that a lot. Like, I'll be just in my home making food or doing the dishes, and I'll be singing things like, suck my fucking dick, you big fat fucking bitch. Sit on my face and do a shit. Piss in my mouth and shit on my chest. I'll pay you so much money. Oh my god, please, I'm lonely. As he bazoo bazow, swilly twally doo, beep bap boo, ah cha cha. I kind of want it to look like its face has been pulled off almost. It's quite a difficult effect to achieve when you've not actually tried to do it before. See, that's one of the things Kim Jung-gi, that's one of his tricks. Not to say he's all tricks and illusions, but that's one of the tricks he uses, is that everything he draws, he's basically drawn 100,000 times already. So it's like, it's instinctual. Like, I can draw a goblin face like it's nothing. If I take a sheet of paper, I can go, look, nose, eyes, mouth, teeth, tongue, you know, not the best, obviously very, very quick, but basically that. Okay, that's a good enough goblin face that you can go, cool, goblin face. Because I've drawn them 1,000 times, I know exactly what they look like, so it's nothing for me to draw that, which is what Kim Jung-gi does, because he draws so much, he's drawn everything so much, that drawing most things for him is just comes as second nature because he's already done it, which is a very sort of, I don't know, important skill or something to learn. I don't know, just something to keep in mind, that whenever you see someone like that drawing something, you know, without construction lines, that they, you know, or it's just perfect, the perspective forms, whatever, it's very rare that it's the first time they've drawn it. You know, they have a catalogue in their head of imagery. And Kim Jung-gi also will even say that straight up, that like you build this sort of mental catalogue of images in your head of how shit looks by drawing lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. And even if you've not drawn the specific thing a lot of times, if you've drawn similar things, like if you've drawn a human head from a certain angle a bunch of times, then you can draw most heads from certain angles anytime because you already know how to do it. So it's not necessarily a matter of what kind of head it is, what it looks like specifically, but you already know, so it's easy to whip out and draw at a moment's notice. Yeah. Get it? You get that? You get it? You get it? You go. You know, tricks of the trade and that, innit? See, look, it's Pestilence. It's my favourite Care Bear. Pestilence, the Care Bear. I did want to have lots of flies around him, so I might spend a few minutes drawing loads and loads of bloody flies. And this is, you know, body of the fly, wings of the fly. Almost like a little love heart with a dot on it. Just nice and simple, nice and easy. Just whatever. Flies, flies, flies. Just loads of fucking flies around him. Because it's Pestilence, isn't it? Decay and shit. There's a movie, it's an independent UK movie called Zombie Diaries, I believe. It's like it kind of sucks because it's like the, you know, what do they call it? Like a Blair Witch Project, where it's shot like that, like a diary, a video diary sort of thing. Hence the title, Zombie Diaries. So it's like a zombie film shot like that. It's all like found footage from different people's cameras throughout this zombie apocalypse. But there's a very good thing in it, which I noticed very early on whilst watching it, that not a lot of zombie films do, which is that whenever there's a zombie on camera, or even not on camera but nearby, you hear the buzzing of flies, which is a very, very good detail. Because it's like, it makes sense that there would be flies buzzing around because it's like decaying flesh and stuff, but it's not something that most zombie films put in, which is kind of cool. It's not a bad film, it's not fantastic, but if you can find it, it's definitely worth a watch. It's a pretty good one. It's very low budget, obviously, but considering that fact, it is pretty good. It's pretty well done. But on the front cover, on the box art, is like a couple of people, like survivors, with like a horde of zombies in front of them, and I think like a London landscape. None of that. At most, they come up against like 2 or 3 zombies at once, and then they move on or whatever. So that's kind of shitty, but the film itself is not bad. I'm very much a fan of zombie films before they became like, basically before The Walking Dead. Pre-Walking Dead, zombie shit was really cool, but after that there's just too much. The market got saturated. I even wrote my dissertation about that fact in university, that zombies were losing their effectiveness as a horror icon because there's just too much of it in media, in video games, movies, TV shows, everything. There's just too many zombies around, which is why the best zombie films are like the old classic ones before it was really such a thing, in my opinion, of course. I want like clouds of flies, but it's going to be a fucking pain in the balls to draw them all. Bear with me while I fucking do all this shit. Bear with me while I stop drawing flies and move on to something else. That's quite a good thing to do if you're drawing like decay or whatever anyway, is if you have a line like this, don't make it a clean line, and then put just little blotches here and there. It just makes it look like just bits are just kind of flaking off a little bit. There's a bit more texture there. That's a trick I use in a lot of things, like drawings and paintings and like walls especially. Just that little extra bit of texture really makes all the difference. And because, especially with spray paint, like I can't draw or paint straight lines at the best of times, especially with fucking spray paint. I cannot fucking do straight lines. I've got these wobbly, wibbly hands that just won't do it. So what I do on purpose is make my lines look more natural and wibbly wobbly, and then put like these flakes here for texture. So it looks like I tried to do that, when in reality, I just can't fucking paint straight lines. Yes. Tricks of the trade with you and But yeah, you go, tips. You're learning, you see. I'm an art teacher as much as I am a practitioner thereof. Yes. I think this is coming out quite well. I don't know how it'll work. I might sell this drawing at some point if anyone wants it. It's very relevant to the times and the should do some bigger flies. At this point, I'm literally just drawing lines, just making a mess, just to get the impression of flies existing. More texture, more gooder. Yay. Evidently, I've run out of shit to say, and this picture's just about done, so that's probably the end of this bonus free podcast for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. I did want to just put just a tiny little, because in my very slight research I did of the Care Bears, there's often like pink involved, so I figure maybe I'll throw a little bit of that in. It might ruin everything. I do prefer a nice limited colour palette, but it will do it forever. Fuck you, it's my drawing, I do what I want. Still, we covered some topics today, didn't we? We had some fun. We did not, let me emphasise, did not fuck a baby. Again, not saying that I wouldn't, just saying, although you weren't supposed to hear that, were you? That's the whole joke there with that bit. Is that what we do now at the end of every podcast? We recap what we've fucking waste of time. That is my Pestilence thing.